We're gonna take a walk in Ferndale's Fragrance Garden.
Did you know that Ferndale has a garden designed to be experienced by smell and touch? This is the Fragrance Garden at Tennant Lake, right next to Hovander Homestead Park.
Fragrant.
It has raised beds, flowers, herbs, textured plants, and plant labels with Braille, making it one of the most unique and accessible little gardens in Whatcom County.
They smell really good, actually. You should smell those. We're gonna climb to the top.
And once you're done here, you can walk over to Tennant Lake. Take the boardwalk through the wetlands, climb the observation tower, and look out over the lake, farmland, and even Mount Baker on a clear day.
Oh, it's nice though. Wow.
Beautiful.
So we're gonna walk on. So we're at the top of the tower here at Tennant Lake and Fragrance Garden. We're gonna walk this trail, and then the pathway goes through there, and then we'll lead out to Tennant Lake over there. So we're gonna go on and take that walk.
And one of the best parts about Tennant Lake is the wildlife, of course. Because this area is made of wetlands, open fields, forests, and lake habitat, it's a really good spot for bird watching. You might see ducks, geese, swallows, woodpeckers, hawks, bald eagles, great blue herons, and all kinds of smaller marsh birds. Depending on the season, you may also spot a deer near the fields. And if you're walking quietly along the boardwalk, you can hear so many different bird calls coming from the marsh. That's what makes Tennant Lake so special. You're right here in Ferndale, but once you're on the boardwalk or up in the observation tower, it feels like you're tucked into this peaceful little wildlife area.
We are standing in the middle of Tennant Lake. What a cool park here in Ferndale, Washington. They're pretty flowers though.
Mm-hmm. The history of Hovander Park is actually really cool. Hovander Homestead Park is named after Håkan and Leontine Hovander, who immigrated from Sweden and came to Ferndale in the late 1890s. Håkan was an architect and builder, and he designed the farmhouse, barn, and other buildings on the property himself. The farmhouse was completed in 1903 and still has a lot of Swedish architectural details, which makes it feel different than the typical old farmhouse. The Hovander family farmed this land for decades, and the property stayed in the family until 1969, when Whatcom County purchased it. It officially became a public park in 1971. So when you visit Hovander today, you're not just walking through a pretty park, you're walking through a preserved piece of Ferndale's farming history with an old farmhouse, barn, garden, animal trails, and the Nooksack River all tied together in one place. Ferndale is one of those towns in Whatcom County that has a really unique mix of small town charm, local history, nature, and convenience. It sits right along the Nooksack River, and the river is a huge part of Ferndale's history. Ferndale was officially incorporated in 1907, but its history goes back much further. By the late 1800s, it was already becoming an important little town in Whatcom County with a post office, sawmill, cannery, hotel, and businesses forming around the river and an early farming community. And you can still feel that history today. So a really good example, again, is Hovander Homestead Park, and then right next to Hovander is Tennant Lake. And then also Ferndale has Pioneer Park, which is another really special piece of local history. It has historic log cabins that were moved there from all around Whatcom County to help preserve early pioneer life. It's the kind of place that makes local history feel real, especially if you're walking through with kids or showing someone around the town for the first time.
So that right there, that's Kevin's car wash. I actually know Kevin. Great guy. So we're in Ferndale today, and we're about to walk over the Nooksack River. Over to our right is the Metallica Bridge. How it happened, I don't know. Who keeps on riding Metallica? Let me know in the comments. I would also like to know. But as long as I remember, it's always been the Metallica Bridge, and there's always been those people who like will paint like I love Shirley here or something else, but someone out there always will repaint it to the Metallica Bridge. This is the Nooksack River, and then this is the River Walk. Okay, Central Elementary, and the Boys and Girls Club is down there too. This is the Main Street Bar and Grill where you can get a $10 steak dinner every Thursday. We're at Cedars Restaurant in Ferndale. I think it was established 1909.
Cedars is one of those classic Ferndale spots, and that feels easy and familiar. Whether you're grabbing breakfast, meeting someone for lunch, or stopping for a casual dinner, it has a small town, local restaurant feel that people love. But Ferndale's not just history. It's also just a really convenient place to live. You're close to Bellingham, you're close to the Canadian border, close to I-5, which is really important, and you still get that smaller town feel. It's a great spot for people who want a little more space, a strong sense of community, and easy access to the rest of Whatcom County. There's local coffee shops, restaurants, schools, parks, sports fields, walking trails, community events, and neighborhoods that range from established homes with bigger yards to newer construction. And because Ferndale is positioned between Bellingham, Lynden, Blaine, and the border, it can be a really practical location for people who commute or want to stay connected to the whole county. To me, Ferndale has a blend of old and new. You have the history of the river, the farms, the log cabins, the old homesteads. You have the newer neighborhoods, local businesses, and a growing community. It still feels approachable, it still feels local, and there's so many places that make it special, from Hovander to Tennant Lake to Pioneer Park to the river to everyday spots where people grab a coffee and go to school events, walk their dogs, or meet up with friends. If you're still looking for a place in Whatcom County that has history, nature, convenience, and a small town feel, Ferndale is definitely worth getting to know.
So I need to get some soil for my garden, and I thought while we're in Ferndale, no better place to stop than Portaway Farm and Garden. I love this place.
And of course, Ferndale has Portal Way Farm and Garden, which is a great stop for plants, garden supplies, feed, and all those little things that come with country living. It's one of those places that reminds you Ferndale still has that farm town heart.